The office was unusually quiet that morning. The sound of typing fingers echoed across the open floor, blending with the faint hum of air conditioners. But then, a soft cry broke the silence. Heads turned. Brows furrowed. Whispers started. At the entrance stood Amira, a young employee, nervously clutching her infant daughter. Her eyes darted around, terrified of the judgment she would face. The baby's small hand gripped her mother's collar tightly, her cheeks still flushed with sleep. "Amira, why would she bring her baby here?" one colleague whispered. "Doesn't she know this is against the rules?" another murmured. Amira lowered her gaze, whispering to herself, "Please, just for today. Please don't cry too much." Her footsteps were shaky, echoing like thunder in her own ears. Every step forward felt like walking into a storm. But what choice did she have? Her babysitter had fallen sick. She couldn't afford to miss work. Missing a day meant risking her job, and without her job, how would she feed her child? She sat at her desk, trying to blend in, praying no one would notice. But the baby's soft coos betrayed her silence. The office atmosphere grew heavy. Everyone waited for the inevitable moment, when the manager would appear. And then, the sound of heavy footsteps approached. The manager's shadow fell across her desk. His voice was sharp. Cold. "Amira. My office. Now." Amira's heart sank. Her arms tightened around her baby. Was this the end of her job? What would the manager do? Fire her on the spot, or show mercy? The door closed behind them with a click that felt like a prison lock. The manager's eyes narrowed. "You know this is a workplace, not a daycare. What were you thinking?" Amira's lips trembled. She wanted to explain. To beg. But before words could form, her baby whimpered softly. That sound, so fragile, so innocent, hung in the room like a plea. Amira swallowed hard. "Sir. I had no choice. The babysitter cancelled last minute. I couldn't miss work. I need this job." The manager leaned back, crossing his arms. His expression was unreadable. Cold as stone. Outside the office, employees exchanged whispers. "She's finished," someone muttered. "No way the boss will let this slide." Inside, silence stretched. Only the baby's breathing filled the air. Finally, the manager sighed. "You can stay. But if that baby disrupts work, just once, you're gone. Do you understand?" Tears welled in Amira's eyes. She nodded quickly, whispering, "Yes, sir. Thank you." She left the office clutching her daughter tighter than ever. Her colleagues stared, some with pity, others with annoyance. But just when she thought the worst was over, another pair of footsteps echoed across the hall. This time, it wasn't the manager. It was him. The man no one expected to show up that day. The millionaire CEO of the company. What would a millionaire CEO think of an employee daring to bring her baby into his empire? The CEO's presence was like a storm entering a quiet town. Every head turned. Every whisper died. He was tall, dressed in a perfectly tailored suit. His shoes clicked sharply against the floor as he walked, slow, deliberate, commanding. His eyes scanned the room. Then they landed on Amira. A baby. In his office. The silence was suffocating. Even the air felt like it was holding its breath. He walked toward her desk. Each step echoed louder than the last. Amira's throat tightened. Her arms wrapped around her child protectively. "Is that a baby?" His voice was calm, but carried weight. The entire office froze. Amira nodded slowly, her voice trembling. "Yes, sir. She's my daughter. I'm sorry." It won't happen again. Please don't fire me. The CEO tilted his head. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he knelt down. To everyone's shock, the millionaire extended his finger toward the infant. The baby giggled, clutching his finger with her tiny hand. The CEO's lips curved into a small smile. And then, he said something no one expected. "Bring her to my office." Gasps filled the room. Amira's heart pounded. What did he mean? Was this kindness, or was she walking into something worse? Why did the CEO want Amira and her baby in his office? The CEO's office was vast. Tall glass windows bathed the room in golden light. Expensive paintings lined the walls. Amira stood inside, clutching her baby, her knees trembling. The CEO motioned for her to sit. "Relax," he said gently. Her baby cooed, reaching toward the shining pen on his desk. The CEO chuckled softly, sliding it closer. "You remind me of someone," he said, his voice distant. "My mother. She worked 2 jobs. Took me with her when she had no choice. People laughed at her. Humiliated her. But she never gave up." His eyes softened as he looked at the baby. "Your courage, it reminds me of her." Amira blinked, stunned. Then he leaned forward. "You don't need to hide your struggles. I'll make sure you never have to choose between your job and your child again." Her heart stopped. "Sir, what do you mean?" He smiled. "I'm creating a daycare inside this building. Starting tomorrow. For you. For every parent here." Her jaw dropped. The millionaire's words spread like wildfire across the company. Employees couldn't believe it. Was this real? How would the employees react to such a shocking announcement? The next morning, the office buzzed with excitement. In a corner, a new daycare space had been set up. Bright colors. Soft toys. Laughter instead of whispers. Employees peeked in, smiles spreading across their faces. Amira sat at her desk, her baby safe just a few steps away. Her eyes glistened with tears. For the first time, she felt free. Free from fear. Free from judgment. The CEO walked by, watching the scene with quiet pride. He had turned one woman's desperation into a revolution for every parent in the company. The whispers that once judged Amira now carried admiration. "She's the reason this happened. She's stronger than any of us knew." Amira looked at her baby and whispered, "You changed everything." The office was no longer the same. It wasn't just a workplace anymore. It was a family. And all because one humble employee dared to bring her baby to work. And a millionaire decided to see her not as a problem, but as an inspiration. What would you have done if you were the CEO? Would you have punished Amira, or changed the workplace forever?